The 15 most disgusting foods eaten worldwide, Part 2.
If you are brand new to our channel, we invite you to take a moment to subscribe. Just click on the lit red button as well as the gray bell. Why the bell? Well, it will let you know every time we post a new video.
9. Cobra Heart. Eating a cobra heart in itself likely wouldn't be bad enough to make it onto this list. A heart is a heart, right? But it's the way that they eat cobra heart in Vietnam that deserves special mention. You don't buy this from a butcher or have it served up in a restaurant. You need a living cobra in front of you to do it right. First you slit open the struggling snake and pull out its heart from its body. As it bleeds out, you drain enough to fill a shot glass. Then you take the still beating heart and put it into the glass with the blood. Now you knock back the lot in one mouthful. The idea is that the heart should still be pumping at the moment that it enters your mouth, because there's nothing like that little extra bit of animal cruelty to make it seem all the more appetizing. 10. Mackerel. This one is eaten in Iceland, and prepare for a tale about a food that should never have been eaten in the first place. We start our journey with a basking shark, also known as a Greenland shark. Because it lives in very cold waters, this shark is full of internal fluids to keep it warm. Those fluids are poisonous to humans. Is this ringing any alarm bells yet? Well, don't worry, because they drain those fluids by burying the carcass underground and pressing stones on it. Then it gets hung out to dry and cut into strips, ready to eat. Just like that. Wonderful. It's described as having a strong fishy flavor and a smell of ammonia. Anthony Bourdain once described it as the single worst, most disgusting and terrible tasting thing in the world. What a glowing recommendation. Are you tempted to try it yet? Better hope they got the poison draining bit right. 11. Shiakara. Next up, here's another example of fish served up in a way that should never have been thought of at all. We all know how they love eating raw fish in Japan, but this dish takes it to the next level. To make it at home, you grab the meat from a selection of sea creatures. Then you get their viscera and salt and ferment it. Next, you use the resulting paste to swish those bits of flesh around in, and get them all coated up nicely. Now you serve it. Notice how I didn't say anything about cooking? The whole thing, viscera paste and all, is served raw, often on a bed of plain white rice, because of course that's just what this needs to make it look tasty. If anyone feels like trying this one, let us know how it tastes and how much vomiting it caused over the resulting few days. 12. Sinkbeds. For this entry we're coming right on over to Alaska in the good old USA. You thought this was all going to be exotic and far-flung locations, didn't you? No, Alaska happens to be on the map for the rotten food market. They have a special dish over there called Sinkbeds, because apparently in Alaska they know how to make something sound like you would want to eat it. What you do is get the head of a king salmon and then ferment it. You bury it underground for a few weeks, a process which must have been discovered by a very, very hungry person at some stage in history. Then, you dig it back up and eat it. It is a putty-like mush at this stage, with a very strong smell. Doesn't it just sound wonderful? A rotten fish head, just what every gourmet dreams of putting on their plate. 13. Fried spiders. We traveled to Cambodia for our next dish, which I'm having a lot of trouble looking at. Honestly, it's pretty high on the disgusting thing. I get the idea of conquering your fears by literally eating them, but this has all 50 shades of no. Anyway, in the town of Skuin, this is considered to be a special regional delicacy. They marinate the huge spiders in MSG, sugar, and salt, and then fry them whole in garlic. They are not complete without the brown sludge which remains in their abdomen until you take a bite. What's the sludge made of, you ask? Oh, just their innards, their eggs. and their excrement. A holy trinity of yum. There are lots of insect dishes out there which seem too nasty for words, but this one is definitely the pick of the whole bunch. Spiders and their hairy 8 legs need to stay away from me, fried or not. 14. Bird's nest soup. In Southeast Asia this is considered to be a real delicacy, so much so that you've probably heard of it already. Bird's nest soup is a charming little name, but it's probably just made with eggs or something, right? Well, no. It's made from an actual bird's nest. See, there's a bird called the swiftlet that doesn't bother going round and getting twigs for its nest. Instead, it just uses its own saliva, which is nice and gummy. It hardens on contact with air, and therefore makes a great building material. A lot of people die every year climbing high up on cliff faces to get the nests. Even with this fact, you will be disappointed to know that it reportedly has a rubbery taste. That doesn't exactly seem worth the effort. Mind you, it's what you might expect gummy saliva turned into a soup to taste like. Have fun eating something that was already in something else's mouth first. 15. Chicken feet. If you ordered a burger at your local fast food place, and it turned up with a chicken's foot in it, you would probably be thinking about compensation immediately. In a few other countries around the world, however, you might think you had a bonus item added to your meal. Chicken feet are popular to eat in East Asia, South Africa, South America, and the Caribbean. They are mostly skinned despite their appearance, and the bones are the most annoying part of the dish. If flavored properly, they are considered a great food, but of course there's always the chance that they will be cooked wrong. Also, it's the foot of a chicken. Not the first thing that comes to mind when looking at a chicken and thinking about lunch. There's something to be said about using the whole animal, but this case might just stick in your throat.